Hey guys, I hope everyone is doing well. This is Rudy, and I'm going to talk about a variety of things tonight. Specifically, serpent seed, the identity of Israel, and the tribulation. And I want to just, recommend some books on those three topics. But before I do you guys know that Judge Napolitano with Fox News, I think he has a show called Freedom Watch, and it's been canceled. And I guess Judge Napolitano was a big supporter of Ron Paul, and I think he even showed up on InfoWars from time to time. So they canceled his Freedom Watch show. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. It's just I'm not surprised. If anybody gets close to speaking too close to the truth, or speaking out against the corporations that have a headlock on our media, they'll just cancel you, But anyway, Judge Napolitano looks like he lost his show, and I'll put the link in the information bar so you can look that up. Also, there's a college in Dallas, and I'm going to try to attend some classes as a sit-in student. I'm not going to go back and take classes and test or anything, although I might do that eventually. But they got a class called Philosophical Hermeneutics. They've got other classes, and I'm looking into just going and sitting in some of these seminary schools as a sit-in student. And a friend of mine invited me to sit in at a class, and they were talking about some very cool stuff, like the subject of God changing his mind, which he has done in the Bible. The fact that God not only is love, but God hates also. There's several verses where God hates things. And, judgment. And before this video ends, I want to read Psalms 94. If you want to read a good Psalms about judgment of the wicked and the vengeance of God, read Psalm 94. And I'll try to read that if I have time. Our pastor brought it up, and it was like, wow, I love hearing where justice comes to the wicked. But because I want to improve my knowledge of the Bible, I think I might go sit in some of these classes at Criswell College in Dallas. Now, I know they're a big Israel supporter, and I know they're pre-tribulation, and that's why I want to talk about SIT, S-I-T. That's the acronym I use to help me remember, but it's serpent seed, the identity of Israel, and the tribulation. That's like the three main areas where I disagree with a lot of my Christian brothers and sisters, and I want to talk about some books that have affected me on why I believe that way. I don't go there just because I willy-nilly want to believe that. I mean, I believe that's sound biblical doctrine. But a lot of people give a lot of credibility to church tradition. I don't. I don't hold church tradition as having credibility. Just because something's been taught for a long time in mainstream doesn't mean squat to me. There's so much stuff that mainstream has got off base and off course, and I just want to look at the scriptures, try to understand it for myself, and I don't give a lot of credibility to church tradition. I just don't, and I know that differs from a lot of my Christian brothers and sisters, but that's okay. It's okay with me anyway. Also, I want to throw this idea at you. Okay, we live in a society where truth is under fire all the time. And I'm speaking in a general sense here, not any specific person, but in a general sense, those that have a higher level of awareness. For instance, if you're aware of 9/11 and you know that Building 7 couldn't have come down at the speed that it did, and you just know because you have a sense of awareness that there was explosives placed in that building. If you look up at the sky and you know that's not water vapor, that's spreading out all across the sky, that that's being we're being sprayed like bugs. If you are aware of the manipulation of our money supply and how they're using the control of our money supply to poison our universities and our media, and you have a higher sense of awareness, right? Because we live in a society where truth is under attack, you are made out to be a nut job. And so what happens is that across a broad range of people in the United States, those people will never progress anymore in the system that we have, because our system, the ship, is being run by satanic liberal scumbags, right? And with a huge Zionist influence. And so for those that would normally bring a sense of awareness, a sense of critical thinking, a sense of justice, right? A sense of right and wrong, those people aren't being promoted anymore. Matter of fact, those people are being weeded out and are being demoted, and more than likely you'll lose your job, just like Judge Napolitano did, right? And because those people are being demoted in society, you have a rising of the moochers, looters, and bootlickers, that I'll call them, that Ayn Rand talked about in Atlas Shrugged, which is in my top 3 favorite books, maybe up there with The Creature from Jekyll Island by J. Edward Griffin. C.S. Lewis books, or Mere Christianity, had a huge impact on my life as well. Of course, the Holy Bible, King James, is number 1, but I'm just giving you some other books that have had huge impacts on my life. But the point I want to make is that the people that would normally hold positions of authority in society, our judges, even doctors, lawyers, mayors, sheriffs, we have been infiltrated by people that are they're just an all-out war on truth, and therefore truth is God, and so they're all-out war on God. And so, we're going to lose. It's like, for somebody who's not aware of this, you're looking at the facade of society. On the outer surface, you don't see a lot of things going on right now. But for those of us that are aware, there's bombs going off on the inside, and there's a war going on, and it's just a matter of time before the whole thing caves in. But having said that, I wanted to mention that because a lot of people in society that would normally get good positions, they're not getting good positions anymore because of their belief systems. They're being ridiculed. People that can see through 9/11, those people won't get promoted anymore. People that claim that they're spraying us like bugs, and they claim that there's chemtrails in the sky. If the organization that's hired them hears them say that, those people won't get promoted anymore. So for the people that have a higher sense of awareness, get used to the fact that you will be relegated to the lower positions in society, because we have Caligula and just pure demons running the show right now. But God can turn it around. God can absolutely turn it around. Okay, I'm up to 8 minutes. Okay, my Christian brothers and sisters that align with me on a lot of things. For instance, I don't like Barack Obama. Well, a lot of my Christians and brothers and sisters don't like Barack Obama. There's a book called Barack Obama and Larry Sinclair, Murder. Okay, you guys need to get a copy of this book before it's outlawed. But I think Larry Sinclair is telling the truth. That I just wanted to mention that because that book, I don't know, given the times that we live in, how much longer it'll be available. But SIT, S-I-T, okay? S stands for serpent seed. Okay, the best books on serpent seed that I've come across, and I've got many, right, but just the 2, is Lucifer, Father of Cain by Zen Garcia. Lucifer, Father of Cain by Zen Garcia. And also Blood and Seed by Brian Wright. Okay, Blood and Seed by Brian Wright. Okay, I do believe in serpent seed. I believe that Satan seduced Eve and basically raped her, and that was part of the plan, because I believe there was a war in heaven, and we've all been sent here to understand the consequences of good and evil so that we can make a choice. And the choice that we make, either to accept good or accept Christ, or not accept Him, will determine our eternal state. But a lot of people don't like the fact that I believe in serpent seed. They think I'm crazy, or I got some kind I don't know what they think, but there are reasons that I believe it, and the reasons that I believe it, a lot of those reasons are outlined in those two books. The second question, which is the identity of Israel, there's a website called endtimepilgrim.org, and you got to go check out that website. It's a great website for the tribulation and for the identity of Israel. There was a acquaintance of mine on YouTube, and I respect his videos, and he shared some knowledge with me. But did you know that Martin Luther had some things to say about Jewish folks, the so-called Jews of the world? So go look up Martin Luther Jewish comments or Martin Luther Semitic writings. But having said that, I get accused of not supporting Israel, and the church that I go to really supports Israel, and most Christians do, because that's the predominant preaching of mainstream Christianity. I believe that I support Israel by saying the truth about those who call themselves Jews, and I don't even think Israel, the house of Israel, and Jews are the same thing. I think that we have to define our terms very carefully in order to have this conversation. And Jews is from the tribe of Judah. I think there's the tribe of Ephraim, which got scattered amongst all the nations, and God will bring his lost sheep back to him. But the book that I think sums it up the best, and endtimepilgrim.org is a website, but if you want a book that has tremendous detail, there's many scriptures that talk about when you become a Christian and you accept Christ, that you become part of the house of Israel, and that you become Jewish. And now that may sound foreign to you, but it says that when you accept Christ, you become a new creature. It says that you become heirs according to the covenant of Abraham, and heirs according to the seed, right? And so it's like you become a part of the house of Israel when you accept Christ. And this book right here, Who is Israel? By Batya Wooten, Wootten, Who is Israel? This book right here makes a whole lot of sense. And it goes against mainstream Christian thought, which says that there's two plans of salvation. One for the so-called Jewish people who put the little yarmulke on the head and bow down to the Wailing Wall. And they say they have a different plan of salvation than, us Gentiles. But this book right here makes a whole lot of sense, gives a tremendous amount of scriptural references that says there is no difference between a Jew and a Gentile anymore. And that if you accept Christ, you become part of the house of Israel. And so for those that want to go around, with Israeli flag, and I believe that's a satanic symbol and a satanic flag, but you go ahead and keep doing that, and I'll keep telling the truth that there is no difference, right? Once you accept Christ, we're all a part of the elect, and there's one elect, and there's one plan of salvation. There's not two plans of salvation. There's not a plan of salvation for the so-called Jews and a plan of salvation for the Gentiles. There's one plan of salvation for God's elect, and that's one people. Okay, so I've covered serpent seed, I've covered the identity of Israel, and now I want to cover the tribulation, because a lot of the mainstream Christians nowadays think pre-tribulation, and I've said many times that I'm post-tribulation. I'm a big fan of Robert Gundry and also Richard Perry. Robert Gundry wrote a book called The Church and the Tribulation. The Church and the Tribulation by Robert Gundry. That's a great book. He wrote a follow-up book called First the Antichrist. First the Antichrist by Bob Gundry. Okay, and then Richard Perry wrote a book called Of the Last Days, Listen, I Tell You a Mystery by Richard Perry. Okay, and these are some great resource material to educate yourself on the tribulation and the verses surrounding it. And a lot of the preaching today is that we're going to get pulled out of here early, and a lot of people are going to lose their faith, when the tribulation rolls around. The last thing I want to mention, read Psalms 94. Read Psalms 94. It talks about justice and vengeance from the Lord, and I do pray every day that justice comes to the wicked. God bless everyone.